Okay, guys, so I know this is like my bazillionth upload for my profile picture from my YouTube channel. I'm trying to find a basic overall profile picture that basically iterates on my stories and stuff. So I think this one is the best one so far, best yet, that I've done. So if you like it, let me know down below in the comments, like the video, so we can get more recognition on the channel. And I'm using Illustrator to do it. I'm going in. I did a rough sketch of basically what I want the overall picture to look like. And basically, I'm just going in and I'm doing each layer little by little. I started with the eyeball, the irises, and stuff like that, and tried to color it the way that I wanted it to be. And basically, I'm just going over each individual part to give it the look. Right now, I'm going over the smile for it. I have to go back into the layer and I have to turn the fill tool off so that basically it kind of gets so the extra amount of color will not get added to the individual picture. And so it's a very tedious task. The overall piece took about 40 minutes or so. Took a very long time after, and that's not counting for the rough sketch of the picture itself either. So that took a little bit of time as well. And I gotta make sure each individual part is added to where each individual layer is not going against another layer, such as the eyelids and the eyeballs, how they're different color. And later, whenever I'm doing the hoodie, you will be able to see that specific thing I'm talking about with it. So I'm just trying to line up my hair right now, trying to get it in a specific position to where it'll be lined up for each part. And actually, I'm not going to be doing the hair. I do the skin, and then afterwards, I trace the same layer, and I get the hair. So now I'm going to trace the layer that I started with the skin, and I work my way around to basically get an overall image of how I want my hair to be in the piece. This is a very tedious project, very tedious thing to do, especially when using Illustrator. I don't know if there's any better softwares or applications that work better than Illustrator, but right now I've been using Illustrator for my college classes, and that's basically like the overall most used app for my courses. Now I'm tracing one of my dreads in the front, trying to work my way all the way around, trying to get each individual part together without trying to make it overlap itself. And then afterwards, whenever it's all connected, after I pull it down to those little jagged pieces, I connect it for the ear, and I apply the fill, and I make it black. Then I want to go over into the hair itself, and I want to pull some of the individual strands to make it look better overall, more appealing, a more appealing piece of art. So I do that for each individual one, and I do it a few more times because looking over it, I didn't really like. I liked the design, I just didn't like those individual strands and how short they were, so I just pulled it a little bit farther up, tried to get it there. Then after that said and done, I make the eyebrows. I just make them very quickly. They're not very hard. I just pull them over, pull them out, and they were pretty easy to do pretty quickly. Next up, I try to do the neck, and I just try to do a loose pull around with each individual piece. I use 2 specific tools for doing it. And then I try to connect it with the head. And after this, I go around and I do the hoodie. And basically I just try to loop all the aspects around from the hoodie together. Oh, I did this shirt first. So I pull over the specific layer for the shirt. The colors are gonna be black and red, so the shirt's gonna be red, and then afterwards I'm gonna go back into the hoodie and basically just do a little outline for it. I'm gonna pull it around. I had several different issues with connecting the fill, so in the end I just did one standard fill, and then I just went over it and looped it to the back, so it wasn't as big of an issue. So now I'm gonna be trying to fix the overall issue that I had with the specific fill of the project. When I tried to loop it around, I tried to add the extra lines that are down there, and it kind of messed me up. Where I try to add it, so I'm gonna skip ahead. After the hoodie's done and I add the fill and I move it to the back, basically I wanted to go in and I wanted to do each individual letter to make up Nameless Media. So I basically go, and I had issues at first because the points were filling in, so I had to go back in and I had to take the fill off and do everything by hand again. And basically I just outline everything and I get Nameless Media out, and after I get Nameless Media out on the text, I basically go back in and when I go back in, I basically just put it on the t-shirt. So I put everything I've been working up to, not the t-shirt, the hoodie. I put everything on top of the hoodie, and then after I put everything on top of the hoodie, I make the letters white. And after I make the letters white, I wanted to start working towards some type of overall background for the piece. So I chose to do just a basic piece for right now to just start it off, and it's gonna be a bold yellow, um, basically like a block on top and bottom, and